Several mythical and legendary creatures exist in the Comic Republic universe, and among these extraordinary beings is the EIDOS. One particular EIDOS, most known in the central timeline of the Comic Republic, is the EIDOS of Fear. In this video, we're going over who Eru is and everything we know about the EIDOS so far. Without further ado, let's get into it. The events of Eru Issue 1 takes place directly after the meteor incident of the Might of Guardian Prime Issue 3, where the inhabitants of the Earth were severely shaken by the imminent threat of complete destruction, and then suddenly the meteor problem was completely taken care of by the Guardian Prime. But this incident has left the world completely drenched in fear, a perfect atmosphere for a creature like the EIDOS of Fear. The very first issue of Eru opens up with a glimpse of the mysterious creature in the night sky. His soliloquy tells us a lot more about the EIDOS. There are horrors beyond life's edges, horrors that we do not suspect, and once in a while, man's evil praying calls them Em. In the Valley of Shadows, Eru first remarked about the meteor incident, saying a star fell from the sky, but Earth was saved by a shining champion of Emerald. From this chapter, we learn that even the origins of the EIDOS of Fear is shrouded in mystery even to himself. He calls himself a curse upon the vessel he inhabits and a plague upon evil. We can infer from this that maybe he is a parasitic entity that jumps from vessel to vessel, using them to carry out its mission until it's time to move on to the next host. This theory is backed up by the fact that currently in the Comic Republic, Eru is known to possess two distinct forms. One presumably for his host, human-like, and the other presumably for the dark entity, sinister and monster-like. He also mentioned that he has had thousands of forms and has been called by many names, but what he is currently known by is Eru, the King of the Night. The closest definition I can give to him will be that he is the personification of fear. In the first issue, he is seen confronting the creatures of the night that roam around Lagos, a vampire, Richer of Sorrow, and a servant of the five arch-vampires. He viciously attacks the group with his flaming weapon called the Five-Eyed Sword. It seems these blood priests were planning to sacrifice the blood of a woman to honor the rise of their king. Eru, not taking kindly to their acts, decided to send them a message, one they would not soon forget. This is my city. In the issue 2, he engages in battle with these beasts, throwing crude remarks and making fun of them while he does this. He quickly dismantles the blood priest goons with his impressive sword, and the blood priest, quite shocked at what was happening, quickly reaches into his pouch, bringing out a special jar filled with a mysterious potion. Upon consuming this potion, he suddenly increases in size, strength, and power. He towers over the EIDOS and demonstrates his newly acquired powers. He claims that the child they wanted to sacrifice had the Arident, the key to awakening his new master, the Scourge, with their only aim being to see the world burn. The same Scourge threats the gods of old, the Vanguard, the Dekauru, and the Empire NACSS have all labored to seal up and keep sealed in the rifts on the dark side of the moon. Eru, being an ancient entity himself, understands the significance of taking down the blood priest and ensuring the Scourge stays sealed. He resolves to take down the monster. The blood priest unleashes a powerful fire blast from his mouth that leaves Eru completely engulfed in flames. In the issue 3, we continue from where we left off, where the burning body of Eru slowly crumbles to dust, only for it to be revealed that this was all an illusion cast by Eru, and the burning corpse we saw was just a product of Eru's illusion abilities, a classic example of substitution jistu. I guess one of the abilities of the EIDOS of Fear would be to make you see things that are not there. Anyways, Eru reveals himself to the blood priest, casually joking and not taking the fight seriously, reminding the blood priest that he was greatly beneath him in terms of power, almost like an ant fighting a lion. Eru summons another weapon this time, not the five-eyed sword, but the three kings, Metaoba. It constantly repeats the three words: punishment, Ijiya, judgment, Idajo, and vengeance, Besan. And Eru even calls it an old friend. It makes you wonder just how many busted weapons the EIDOS of Fear has under his belt. He releases his weapon and it opens its mouth and drastically grows in size. The blood priest tries to run, but the weapon promptly sucks out his soul before he could escape, turning him into a husk with glowing ancient markings on his new dried body. Eru promptly picks it up and signs as if disappointed, calling the blood priest just another puppet to torment, complaining that the fight was too easy and not entertaining enough for him. The girl who was about to be sacrificed just stood there, terrified, and Eru let her know that he could smell her fear, almost like a stench that clouds people who are afraid. He said the stench beclouds your capacity to walk with your head high in the sun. It makes you a lamb to the slaughter. He then sends her on her way, telling her he hopes to see her as a wolf someday, and not some sheep in need of saving. And until then, she should remember the one she fears the most. So far, we have learned that Eru can transform interchangeably between the human form and the monster form. He possesses a wide array of weapons, like Five-Eyes Sword and the Metalba. He possesses superhuman strength and can travel great distances in an instant. He can also see fear, smell fear, recognize different types of fear, and even consume it. He can distort his body and dissolve into a smoke-like being that can appear from anywhere, and he can also freely move in this form. But you soon learn that this is not all he is capable of. Speaking of powerful entities, though, there's one really powerful entity I know of. Shout out to my brother. Yesterday was his birthday. The reason this channel exists is because of him. We all love you, bro. Later in the story, we learn that Eric Kokuyo has been the EIDOS of fear for 2 decades. He has been fear itself, and also that he does not fully control what he does, as the entity moves him to do things he doesn't quite understand. He also possesses the ability to manipulate the mental state of people and make them relieve their worst fears. He can also, in his own words, smell fear like a shark on steroids from miles away, and unique fears can call to him, like the example of a little girl being molested by her uncle. Her fear called to Eru, and he displayed another unique ability to drag a target into his shadow realm. The shadow realm is an infinite realm where fear is sovereign, a realm where Eru is God. He drags her uncle into the shadow realm and tortures him until his mind breaks. Eru seems to enjoy doing this, as he states it is the only time he feels alive. We also see another side to Eru's power in this issue, as he is also able to grant pleasant illusions, a dream paradise where you can see everything you imagine. He uses this to console the traumatized girl as she falls asleep on his shoulder. He has access to the void, the lowest part of the level of perception. He can open a portal to anywhere he wants in the world, and even other planes of existence. He's capable of creating wraith clones of himself and taking attacks from elder gods of the first race. The story of Eru is one filled with several occult mysteries and complex storylines, which I won't be able to go over completely in this video, but I will quickly love to go over his feats. In the visionary storyline, we see Eru after sensing the emergence of Ojoshi, a member of the first race, and the god of the hunt. He appears in Ngoli almost instantly, teleporting there and stops Ojoshi from killing Ifagbemi, a traitor of Ngoli, who was strong enough to defeat several elders of the Ajanaku family. Eru stood toe-to-toe with Ojoshi, who easily defeated Ifagbemi, interrupting a member of the first race, the god of the hunt, in the middle of a hunt. Although Ojoshi was not actually present and just walking through an avatar, it is still quite impressive. And Ojoshi is known to possess powers that rival that of even Shango. Eru demands that Ojoshi exits the body of his host, as he was killing him, and Ojoshi demands for the body of Ifagemi so he could finish his hunt. A fight ensued, and Eru summons a new weapon, called Oba Olorimeta, the three-headed king, to shield himself from the arrows of the god of the hunt, and used a powerful move, Ibuji Ile Dudu, Muslim of the Abyss, to summon wraith clones of himself to restrain the god of the hunt. Ojoshi mentioned that he would not allow Eru to cage him again, implying that they have had battle in the past, with Eru, the EIDOS of fear, coming out victorious. Ojoshi tries to escape, but he is quickly arrested by Eru and forcefully ejected from his host using Eru's power. This is by far the most impressive feat of the EIDOS of fear. He is not only going toe-to-toe with an elder god on par with Shango, but actually managing to restrain and forcefully detach it from his host. After this, Eru is confronted by Shango, who was looking forward to a fight with Ojoshi, but Eru quickly explains his case, stating he was only doing as he was told by Olokun, Shango's brother. This shows us that Eru is comfortably part of the upper echelons of power in the Comic Republic, as he is easily recognized by various powerful individuals, affiliated with several mythical creatures, and his audience is even sought after by members of the first race like Amadioha. In Amadioha issue 4, Eru makes a stunning appearance on the cover page, strangling the warden, a member of the Alushi, and confronting Amadioha himself. In this issue, Eru comes to Amadioha's house, casually teleporting inside, while Amadioha helps his daughter with her homework. Amadioha promptly greets him like a long-lost brother, but the warden, a member of the Alusi, does not take kindly to Eru and moves to attack him, but she is swiftly interrupted by Amadioha, who prevents a battle between the two. Eru would have easily won, in my opinion. Eru asks Amadioha for help in dealing with an issue, He was reluctant at first, but ultimately agreed to help out, with even Amadioha's familiar telling his daughter that Eru was the man at the end of all nightmares, and in all the scary stories, he is the shadowy creature lurking in there. Eru opens up a portal and leads Amadioha into the Shadow Realm, where they follow a broken pathway through the void, the lower level of perception. It is unclear if they were in the past or if they are still in the present day, but they re-emerge through another portal in Aguanco, Anambra State, where Eru shows Amadioha the problem he was referring to. A giant was terrorizing a small Igbo village, and the villagers cried to Amadioha to save them. In conclusion, Eru is the EIDOS of fear, a mythical creature that represents fear itself. He possesses a lot of abilities and weapons that make him an easy candidate to be considered for one of the most powerful characters in the comic republic. Eru is an entity that inhabits a host and takes away its ability to age, feel other emotions, and even die, taking away their humanity and effectively making them immortal and bound to its will. There are several other EIDOS, and they were all recovered in part 2 of this video. I will continue to cover more about Eru and other comic public characters, so please stay tuned for more updates.